Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about some of the best basketball shoes that you can get for point guards, right? So if you're a guard, you're probably looking for a very responsive shoe. So the shoe will probably need good traction, very responsive cushion, so it's something that's not like too soft, and a very supportive shoe. If you're like super shifty and you do a lot of lateral movements like crossovers and stuff like that, lots of cuts, you're probably gonna need very good lateral containment and support obviously, and also a lightweight shoe. So if you guys want to get any of these shoes, I'll try to leave a link in the description box, but let's get it started off with the Puma Clyde All Pro. It's coming in at 130 bucks. Incredible shoe to play in. One thing to take away from the shoe is how minimal this shoe feels on foot. Like the material is extremely thin. The foam feels really lightweight. I mean, there's really no added bulk or anything on that shoe. Traction is phenomenal. Cushion isn't the best, but it's adequate enough. I mean, there's a little bit of compression in the heel. Great looking shoe too. And it's just an overall really good performer. All right, next we got the Nike KD14 coming in at 150 bucks. One of my favorite shoes to play in right now. Cushion is extremely good. I mean, if you're looking for total responsiveness, I would say the KD14 is not the best option as far as the cushion goes, because the full-length cushion, I heard some people, like some of my friends, and I do understand what they're saying as well, is they're saying the cushion line is a little too soft. So just watch out for that. But for me, it was good. You know, I didn't really have any problems with it. But the cushion line, you get really good compression, really good impact protection. Also, you get good bounce from the Zoom struggle. Very low to the ground feel too. And also the materials are very thin, conform to your foot, and I had no issues with support. So the KD14 is a great option. All right, next we got the Nike Kyrie 7 coming in at 130 bucks. The Kyrie 7 is, I mean, the Kyrie line, of course, it has been a staple for guards. It's a great shoe. The Kyrie 7 has really good traction. You have the outsole curvature, of course, if you're doing those types of movements. The durability wasn't that good, but if you're playing on an indoor court, you should be okay. The cushion, of course, isn't the best, but I mean, you're low to the ground, and I guess you do feel responsive, and you get that nice bounce from the Zoom Turbo in the forefoot. The heel, I mean, if you're doing heel strikes, probably not the best for impact protection, so you're gonna have to live with that. The materials are very thin and very lightweight as well, and I had no issues at all with the support. So the Kyrie 7 is a great option. Just watch out for like ankle support, right? The Kyrie 7 does come up pretty high on the ankle area. So if you want total responsiveness from your shoes and you get a little bit of restriction in your ankle movement, you're probably not gonna feel super responsive in the Kyrie 7. So just watch out for that. It wasn't a huge deal, but I'm just stating that because you do get a little bit of ankle support in that shoe. All right, next we got the Nike PG5 coming in at 110 bucks. Traction is phenomenal, but like the Kyrie 7, it has really bad durability. Cushion also is pretty damn nice. You know, not as soft as, you know, like the PG4, but the overall air strobel unit is nice. You also get good compression in the heel. The material is super thin, so it conforms to your foot, and it's a very lightweight shoe as well. It's just that kind of like cheap light feeling, you know, the material is pretty low quality. Support, I also really didn't have any issues either. So the PG5 is a good option. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite option, but it's solid nonetheless. All right, next we got the Zoom Freak 2 coming in at 120 bucks. So the Zoom Freak 2 has phenomenal traction. You know, you have a really good bite. Cushion is probably the worst on this list, but you know, if you're looking for something responsive, the Zoom Freak 2 has you covered. You have that forefoot zoom unit, which feels nice. And then the material, really thin, very good quality material for the price. I had no issues with support either. So the Zoom Freak 2, very good option. Just watch out for the cushion. All right, next we got the Nike Zoom GT Cut coming in at 170 bucks. Pretty damn expensive, but a very nice performing shoe. So the traction is phenomenal. You have an insane bite. It picks up very minimal dust as well. Cushion is also really nice. You know, you got that react right underneath your foot, so you get a little bit of compression. The stepping comfort is nice, and you also get that full-length Zoom strobel unit, which gives you that extra bounce. But just watch out because it is a little clunky in the heel because they do cage it up with that rubber and that plastic piece. So you don't get like any type of compression from like the midsole. There's really no midsole, you know? So just watch out for that, but it's not a huge deal. The materials feel nice. Overall, it's not the lightest shoe on this list. It was like 13.2 ounces or something like that if I remember correctly, but it is a very responsive shoe. And also I had no issues with support. All right, next, it is an old shoe, but the KD13 is just so damn nice and it's still on the Nike website that I'm just gonna include it in this list. So the KD13 is usually 150 bucks, but it's on sale because it's an old shoe, and I saw it on sale for like 90 or 100 bucks. So it's a great deal. I mean, traction is phenomenal. The cushion is really nice as well. You don't get that cushion, so I would say the KD13 is a little bit more responsive in that way than the KD14. And of course, you get that full length zoom strobe unit. I had no issues with support, and the materials are very thin. It feels nice on foot. All right, next we got the Jordan 35 coming in at 180 bucks. Jordan 35 is a great option, right? So the traction is phenomenal. It does pick up a little bit of dust though. Cushion is great. You know, it's a very responsive feeling cushion, but also you feel super freaking bouncy, right? The forefoot zoom unit feels extremely bouncy. You get that nice compression in the heel, and also the foam compresses a little bit. Materials are pretty damn thin, even though it doesn't look thin. And support, I mean, it's a really supportive shoe as well. So the Jordan 35 is a great option for guards. All right, next we got the Under Armour, or I guess the Curry brand, Curry 8. It's coming in at 160 bucks, and it's an incredible shoe if you want a very lightweight and very responsive feeling shoe, right? So the traction is the best on this list. It has the hardest stop on this list. It almost stops too hard, you know? So the traction is phenomenal. Also has pretty good durability. Doesn't really pick up dust either. Cushion also is a very responsive cushion. You know, you don't really get a whole lot of compression, just a little bit. It's a little soft, right? I would say it's more like responsive and a little bit more stiff, but that's okay. Impact protection is adequate enough, but you get really good court feel. Materials are awesome. You know, it's a super thin material, good ventilation, and it feels really comfortable and cozy on foot. I had no issues with support personally, but I would say if you're a little bit heavier, you might have a little bit of issues with lateral containment. So just watch out for that. But I don't think it would be anything like horrendous. I feel like it'll just be a little bit of your foot sliding out of the footbed, you know? But nonetheless, the Curry 8 literally feels like an extension of your foot, you know? It feels awesome. So the Curry 8 is also one of my favorite shoes on this list. All right, next we got the UA Spawn 3 coming in at 100 bucks. Pretty damn cheap. Traction is phenomenal. You have a really good bite. Cushion is also super nice. You know, I would even say it's nicer than the Curry 8. You know, it's full length micro G. You have a nice soft sensation, especially in the heel. And also you have a little bit of a bounce back too. So that feels nice for the cushioning setup. You get good court feel. The materials aren't the best for quality, but it's thin. It feels nice on foot. It conforms to your foot and all that. And I had no issues with support. So the UA Spawn 3 is a great option. All right, moving on to the next shoe, we got the Adidas Dane 7. It's coming in at 110 bucks. Traction is solid. Cushion also is super nice. You know, you have that full length light strike, a lot of compression in the heel. So just watch out for that. I feel like some people might think it's a little mushing feeling, but I feel like, you know, it was good for me. You know, I really had no issues with it. But I feel like some people, you know, if you want a really responsive cushioning setup, it's not the most responsive cushioning setup. So just watch out for that. But you got good impact protection, especially for heel strikes. As far as the materials go, materials feel nice on foot, feels somewhat minimal, and support I had no issues with either. All right, next we got the Li-Ning Wow All City 9, and it's coming in at 130 bucks. You guys can get it on Amazon if you want. The AC9 is also one of my favorite shoes to play in, right? So the AC9 has freaking amazing traction, really good bite. The cushion is really nice as well. The heel has very nice compression. It's soft. In the forefoot, you got that boom pod, which feels pretty damn bouncy right underneath your foot in the forefoot, and you feel low to the ground. So the cushion is like really nice. Materials are very thin and also has a nice quality to it. And then for the tongue as well as the ankle area, you have a little bit of padding, which feels nice and cozy. It's not the most like minimal feeling shoe though, you know, and especially in the heel, like I feel like the cloud foam does, like it protrudes out a little bit, so it feels a little bulky, just a tiny bit, especially comparing it to like, I don't know, like the Clyde All Pro or the Curry 8 on this list. So just watch out for that. I really had no issues, but if you want a super light and minimal feeling shoe, the AC9 probably isn't the best option. Also, I had no issues with support. So the AC9 is a really good option. All right, last but not least, we got the New Balance two-way coming in at 130 bucks. So the traction is really good. You know, it has a solid bite. You also have that kind of like outsole curvature, which feels nice. You kind of teeter around back and forth from that like pivot point in the middle of the shoe, which feels pretty damn nice, reminiscent of like the Kyrie's. Also, the cushion is nice. You know, you got that full length fuel cell. Heel has nice compression. There's a little bit of bounce, feels soft, and impact protection is adequate enough. I wouldn't say it's the softest or bounciest cushioning setup, especially on this list, but it's definitely better than like a Phylon, you know? The materials are okay. I mean, it feels really thin and very minimal on foot, which is a good thing. But as far as the quality goes, especially like the fuse that they use on that shoe for 130 bucks isn't the best, but you know, that doesn't really matter for performance. It all matters on like how it feels on foot, and it feels nice on foot, right? So anyways, that about wraps it up. That's my list for best basketball shoes for point guards or guards for that matter. Again, if you guys want to cop any of these shoes, I'll try to leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.